Well, good afternoon, everybody who dares to venture into this tutorial on the sound booth computer at the church. I'm going to start right from the beginning because that's basically where it starts sometimes with some of the issues that we have. So you log in like normal and you wait for it to load up. For this, I'll just be using this screen here, and I'll occasionally glance over to this one, but for the most part I'll just be using this one. Alright, there was a little window flash. That's normal. A window opens and closes. It's a task launcher. Alright, now this doesn't happen every time, but it did happen this time. There's this little, what's called a widget right over here in this corner, and I'll get real close to it. You can kind of see that there is green right here and green right here. Means that the system's good, and there's another one right up here, and it should also be over in the green. If it's anything other than those, go ahead and click on it, and this little thing pops right here. It says that the overall status is good, but just to be safe, because sometimes stuff happens, hit analyze now, and it's going to analyze, and I'm not quite sure when it starts, where it goes. Okay, it opens up another window right here, and it's going to do a little analyze thing. Shouldn't take more than about a minute or two for that to happen, because it does not always pop up that there is a problem, but there are any warnings as seen right here. So we're just going to let this run, because this fixes the problem that usually occurs with ProPresenter and PowerPoint when they work together. It's what's called a registry problem, and it happens when the computer starts up. A file was not loaded properly. So occasionally it's just good to check that and to see what happens. Now, if this little guy right here does not pop up, okay, see, we got some yellow now. So it still says we're good, but we're going to reopen that, and it says we got 3 problems. It says we've got 2 registry problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the repair all, and it's going to fix it. It's going to open up another screen, and it's going to fix it, and then when it's done, it's going to open up a summary window, and it's going to tell us what the problems are. Alright, 2 registry errors where everything was fixed. So we can go ahead and close that. Now, if this little guy right here does not pop up, you'll have to come over here and click on the System Mechanic icon on the desk, and hopefully it loads. This computer does get slow sometime. I am going to try working on fixing that. It needs some more RAM. Then this guy pops up. Then where is it? Okay, alright, I found it. Basically, there's this little thing right here where I'm at. I'm in the dashboard, in the overview, and there's this little guy right here. It says last analyzed, and it'll tell you when. You can go ahead and hit reanalyze, and you can do either or. A quick one should probably find it. I'm not going to run it again since we did, but if you got the time, you can do a deep analysis. I would only do that if you're here at least 30 minutes before the service, because if it does find something, it may take it a little bit to fix it. Not guaranteeing that that'll actually cause a problem if it does find something, but it could. So that is how you do it in this. You open it up. In the overview, you can hit the reanalyze, and then it should take you through the rest of the setup. So we can go ahead and close out of this now. We're going to do this later. Alright, so ProPresenter. I know you've all used ProPresenter before. We're going to open it up. Everything should work fine. And when I say should, it should. We had issues with it, obviously, a couple weeks ago. We didn't have any issues with this last Sunday, but there were some issues, and basically System Mechanic fixed it. It was the registry problems that were causing the program to glitch. I don't know why it's doing that, but it is. Alright, so here we are in ProPresenter. Obviously you're going to do your same stuff now that it's loaded up. Hopefully you've You ran your scan if you noticed anything unusual up here, and if there was, you had it fixed, and then just open up your ProPresenter, do everything like normal, go ahead and close it out. Alright, now for importing, just as the refresher, file, it's always go to the file, import PowerPoint. Since that's just about everything that Pastor does, it's in a PowerPoint. It's always a PowerPoint. Most of the songs are in PowerPoint. This is Pastor's folder. If for some reason, let's say, I'm going to take you back to square one, it was on the desktop thing right here, and you say, oh, I can't get to it. Well, you're lucky because you're on the desktop and they're right here, the songs and Pastor's messages. So you can click on one of these shortcuts and it will just take you right into his folder, and I can get right back to Sunday's message, and they're right here. Now, if, say, you're somewhere else in Documents, they're not in Documents. You can click on the sound booth, and that'll get you into everything else that's on the file on the server. Anything with these other things, passages of scripture, software, songs, sound booth policy, they're all right here. So Pastor's Messages is the one that you want to pay attention to, and the songs. We're going to go into songs. We'll go into 2015. We'll do June, and we'll pull up Sunday's songs. So, and then, yeah, the three little dots gets you in there. Then you click OK. Then it takes it a second. But then it'll load up. It has to pull it from PowerPoint. It's not actually a ProPresenter thing, but it still works, obviously, because we've been using it. Something else that I need to tell you guys about, just as a reminder, when you go in, the three little dots, okay, you're in the songs, but now you need to get to Pastor's Message. I'm going to show you a real simple way to do that. Up here in this bar, you've got these different folders, is what they're called. June 2015 songs. You can click this little arrow right here and go to Sound Booth, and then just scroll down to Pastor. Messages, Pastor Couch. All the sermons will basically be in here. I believe everybody's sermon is in here, guest speakers and Pastor Tom, and they're right here, all in the month order. Sorry about the shaky camera, by the way. So they're all right here, and I've already got them loaded in, so I'm not going to load another one in. So I can just close out of this. All right, so you've got your songs here. One click on the first slide starts it. And then from there, I advise against using the mouse as much as you can, the little mouse. I advise, this is like a no-no for advancing songs. You either use the keyboard, arrows to advance, or this guy. The thing that Pastor always has issues with. And if you're going to use that one, I use them all the time when I'm in the sound booth, because I can set it from back here, set everything up, the songs, and I can just click it and it will control it from back here. If you can do this if you've run the thing, the System Mechanic, it should work with no problems. And you can go back and forth, and you can actually even blank the screen with this by pushing that button right there. But all it does is it just blanks the screen. But if you click on something else, the second you come over here to your mouse and you say, we're gonna scroll the mouse like I just did, it's gonna go there. Or if you click on another song, another part of the song, or anywhere else, it will start up again right there. Let's say you got to work on something real quick, but you don't want it to show up over here on the screen. This little output button right here is real nice for that. You just click that, and it says output off. That screen goes blank. Now it's still broadcasting something over here, but you don't see it. The output is off for ProPresenter. So if you had a different file or just one picture somebody needed to show up there, I'll just throw one up there right now. just something real simple that didn't get put into PowerPoint or ProPresenter, you can just drag it over there and it will show up on the screen. Anything that's on this monitor right here will show up on those two screens. Obviously, I'm assuming that you know this, but I'm just being super clear. So that is how you do that. And then to turn it back on, you just simply click that Show Hide Output button again, and it comes back on. And then switching back and forth between presentations, the best way to do it to make sure that the system is fresh each time, this is where stuff can get mixed up within the program because it is a computer, it can get tricked. The little clear all button right here. Make sure you click that, and then we'll just jump into Pastor's Sunday Night Message and just start another one. Just one click starts it, wait a few seconds, and it loads. And then from there, he should be able to go. If something happens, which don't click anywhere else. Don't do anything on this screen. Don't click anywhere. Don't work on anything. Because the second you do that, it messes him up. I'll show you right now. So I'm Pastor. I got my clicker. I want the next slide. So I got the next slide. But then I come over here and I decide I want to open up the Bibles thing. Okay, we've done a passage of Scripture. Well, and now he wants to go back to it. It doesn't work. You've again got to clear everything. It really messes it up when you do this with that. And then there's really no safe way to do it. But then you got to click on the slide that he was back on and wait for it to load up again. And it can be real aggravating at times, especially for him. And it can be embarrassing for you as well. I know from my own experience. But then he can go. So, but again, if you click anywhere, so I'm going to click right here in the middle of nowhere, it will not change it for him. It's not going to change it. Oh, it did change it. That's really weird that it did that. It's never happened before. But be safe. Just because it happened now, be safe. Don't start working on anything else. Don't be clicking into files or different things like that. Just let it go. And we're going to play it safe with that because it doesn't always happen. It can often really mess things up as part of the problems we had before. So that's basic crash course introduction. I'm going to post another video in a little bit about how to do videos through the computer and how to do a little bit of ProPresenter stuff in ProPresenter, which is really cool. I got to see some of it in action, and I decided at the youth convention, and I decided that I'm going to do that at our church because that's just cool. So I'll post another video in a little bit. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to come in and learn this hands-on, let me know. I will make time to come in and work with you guys on this one-on-one if you want to. And I encourage you to do that because there may be a time when me and John Bolt are not here. And it always seems to happen when me and John Bolt are not here. So please come in and learn it. Set apart some time. It does enhance part of the service. It can be as annoyance. It can be just as enhancing as it is annoying. Just flip that around and it makes sense in my mind at least. So it can do good and it can do bad. It just all depends on how much you know and what you're doing.